Hey everybody, Kurt here again from the 410 Bridge. It's Tuesday, April 14th, and this is my weekly update for our COVID-19 relief efforts, specifically in the community or the country of Guatemala. As of this week, Guatemala has 131 confirmed cases of COVID-19, and they have 5 reported deaths related to the virus. Most of the cases geographically are still in the central area of Guatemala, primarily Guatemala City. But in the area of San Martin, the community of Patsun, which is a fairly decent sized urban area near our communities, is under still full lockdown and quarantine. And so the virus seems to be spreading more and more out into the rural areas. There aren't any confirmed cases in any of our communities, however, in San Martin or out in the Weiwei area, though it seems like it's getting closer, especially in the San Martin area. The country of Guatemala is doing has an amazing effort to just lock down their country. Some of the things that are going on in Guatemala is that face masks are mandatory. If you're outside, you've got to wear a face mask, and you can suffer a 1 to 6 year jail term for those people that do not abide by that law, that rule. So. Everybody is required to physically distance, no social events, sporting events, cultural events, public transportation is closed, visits to nursing homes are prohibited, all religious activities are prohibited. Of course, you can't hoard medicine, food, or hygiene products. There is a curfew that's in place from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. That's still going on. All schools are closed, including universities. Malls are closed. Recreational trips are prohibited. Beaches, parks, lakes, and so forth are all closed. Supermarkets, banks, cooperatives, and gas stations are allowed to be open. And if you have a local market, that local market can be open from 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon. The consumption of alcohol is prohibited. The borders are closed. You can't do any kind of interdepartmental travel. So if you want to get into a particular department, you have to prove that you live there. And then, interestingly, all people over the age of 60 are required to stay home. They can't go to supermarkets. They can't go to any markets. And basically, the word is that it's time for everyone to take care of their parents. So they really shut down the 60-plus age group. And then the responsibility is on the local government, the city mayors, to spread the word in their communities to make sure that people are abiding by these new laws. So as you can imagine, that's making our work difficult in trying to get food supplies to the communities and to the people that need it most. This past week, we were able to identify sources of food both out in San Antonio Huista and the 7 communities there, and also San Martin. I'll start with San Martin first. So in San Martin, our partner Asproguate, it's a coffee association partner of ours in that area. They've identified a food source where we've now gotten that food, and we'll begin to distribute that this weekend to the vulnerable families in the 3 communities in San Martin. Basically, we're going to take the food to Jeremy, our community coordinator's house. He's then going to subdivide it and make food kits with our partner Asproguate, and then they'll distribute it to the families in the 3 communities in San Martin. Basically, the same thing is happening out in San Antonio Huista, only if you know Felix. Felix is having the food sent to his house. They'll break it up and divide it into food kits. The community of Rancho Viejo and El Pajal are going to come to his house to pick up the food and then distribute it to the vulnerable families in their community. But then Felix is going to try to figure out how to deliver the food to the 7 other communities in that area. The 5 other communities in that area. The problem is he needs to go through other municipalities to get there, and so he's not exactly sure whether or not those municipalities will allow him to go through or not. If you know Felix, you know that he's very well known in that area, and if anybody can get through that, Felix will. But I'll have a better update for you next week on that. That should be happening this weekend or within the next week, and we're prayerful that it can. So again, if you heard nothing else on this, just understand how grateful we are for your support. Thank you to all of those people that have gone to our relief fundraising page to help us to purchase these food kits. We're really at the very beginning of this. We're afraid that it's going to get much worse before it gets better, but we're doing everything we can to help the most needy in the communities where we work. Thanks for your prayers. Thanks for your words of encouragement, your social media posts. We're grateful for all those. They're a great encouragement to our staff, so keep those coming as well. I'll be back next week with another update, And until then, thanks for all you do. We're grateful.